In civilian life, I was a power engineer. I worked in the big national energy company Ukrenergo most part of my life. Then from 2014 I worked with solar power plants in private company and also did electrical side jobs that we call gigs. In 2014 I volunteered as a soldier. In 2015 I was transferred to the reserves. I returned to the unit on the second day of the full-scale invasion. In July 2022 I joined this brigade. Since then I've been running, kicking dust like an infantry rifleman. My comrades in arms call me Electrician. In 2022 I arrived in my own car with my body armor, helmet, load-bearing harness and all the tactical kit I had from 2015. I loaded it all up, knowing what I needed to bring. I came to the war. I was given a wooden rifle and a metal helmet. Also I found an old Soviet army jacket. I was telling everyone it was my grandfather's heritage. Then I have upgraded the rifle. At the beginning of the invasion in Vinnytsia, I stood guarding the facilities. So I had the time and inspiration to re-equip the weapon I have for a defending job. Then when I changed a unit, I came already with it. I sometimes take it to the positions, sometimes not. When I do, there is not much use for it. When I don't, I need optics to shoot. I look, strangers are running. I shot them a couple of times. For some reason they suddenly fell down on the grass and didn't get up again. I tell everyone that I killed them. But who knows, I didn't check. Maybe they crawled away in the grass. Once the guys were going through us to attack the enemy, my job was to cover position and bring the ammo. When I was carrying grenades to them, a shell exploded and hit an armored personal carrier nearby that was already on fire. And fragments, pieces of equipment, stones flew into my face. Got a bloody nose from it. I relayed on the walkie-talkie that I was wounded and I don't remember what else I was saying. After that, I hid behind the armored personal carrier and began to remove all those pieces from myself. Blood, snot, panic. Then a guy came for grenades I was carrying. He took my gun, put it aside, took my backpack, ran to the positions. I got up, ran off and realized I had no gun. And I understand that I don't have the strength to return for it. I turned around, there were only 3 foreign fighters. And I don't know other languages. I started gesturing to the Canadian, my pew pew there. And then I pointed to the dugout. They brought the gun, but later a 120mm shell hit there and the gun flew off again. Rifle was not destined to return home. It was really scary moments for me, you know. Although 15 minutes later, when I was already checked out by medics and understood I will be alive, I already wanted to go for a rifle and to fight. If you die, you won't know about it anymore, it won't hurt anymore. If it didn't kill but only wounded you, well, it will hurt a bit, but it's not fatal, you can survive. It's scary when bombs are flying, very scary. I truly was much more frightened when I was going on a train and a suitcase on wheels rumbled down the corridor. It scares me more because when you're sitting in dugout, you realize that if the bomb hits now, there is no point to hiding. You will die 100%. A direct hit from a 120mm shell is scarier than the bomb shell. But when you don't expect it and something starts rumbling in the train, it's terrifying because you don't know what to expect. So is war psychodeformation. You could say that infantry unit is like a huge communal apartment. There are very different people on different age with different education, different interests. Even if we take music, some like rap, others like rock, others something else, but we get along. As Matroskin said, work brings us together. I told everyone not to smoke inside, so they don't. Some have some allergies, Others can't eat basil. So now everyone not use basil because they know Vasya Pupkin is coming and he doesn't eat basil. Even if someone loves basil, we're like a family. So I make salad without it. That's how we adapt. Everyone gets used to each other in this way. If there is no interaction in daily life, it's unlikely to happen in battle. So we try to help as much as possible. Teach young ones, sometimes telling stories, sometimes giving a push. Because a good step forward often comes from a good kick in the back. An electrician's backpack, electrician's house, fiber, electrician's load-bearing harness, a little gift. They grumble a bit, like every family. They want me to be with family, with my wife, with children. But someone has to do the defending job. I have two sons. One of them is already an adult. I told my wife, no question, I'll come home, and the eldest son goes instead of me. She doesn't like it either. When I went in army in 2014, I didn't know how I would handle myself, because I was afraid of blood. All my life before, whenever I saw someone bloodied, I faltered. When I signed up documents, I said I could go as an electrician or to help somewhere, loading cartridges for someone, because I didn't know if I could handle the sight of all that blood and corpses and everything else that comes with war. But it was my decision to be there. You see, I'm an electrician. I wouldn't be mobilized if I didn't choose this. My brother and I, as power engineers, we could work on critical infrastructure and don't go to the army. If all electricians go to fight, even if they are very needed in army, who'd keep these things running? No one else can do their job. Same goes for pharmacists, bakers, and some others. Some people need to stay behind, even among those who fought. Take this guy who fought. He got hit hard and was so scared that he can't function now. Our problem is the lack of substations after it became one of the main targets for Russian rockets. Even with surplus power somewhere, it needs big systems to be transferred. There is a reserve of nuclear electricity, but it can be used if the other systems were crushed. The car gave gas and it immediately gave power. The nuclear power plant goes into mode there for a week, 2 or 3, and it takes up only about 30–40%. At the same time, the nuclear power plant cannot be quickly excluded, because after an extreme shutdown it will need major repairs, which will take a month. Therefore, we are forced to use only part of the possibilities and control the level of electricity consumption. All peaks of energy consumption were previously covered by our hydroelectric plants. From the Dnipro HPP, for example, electricity was sent to Lviv. Now the Russians have destroyed the Dnipro HPP, electric substations, Kakhovskaya HPP, and we cannot cover consumption peaks, despite the fact that we have reserves of nuclear power even for higher needs. We have to balance needs and security. We can give everyone power, not turn off the lights for anyone, but then at a critical moment we will have to turn off the power for months. Five minutes before going to the positions. If God willing, we'll meet again. Only at the finish line you realize you will never make something important. Because when you're young and ambitious, tomorrow is wide open, you have time for everything. When you're older, you see that could have been done better, what could have been redone. But life's one shot, life is wild, exciting, and we can't always redo things. Sometimes you think, I'll recall him tomorrow, then boom, that man is done. Can't talk anymore. How much we missed out, what we should have done. How many times you think you should have listened to mom, yeah. Well, now we can just protect what's present. protect ears and knees, wear a hat